Hey everyone, thanks for learning to play games. My name is Lance, and today I'll be doing a teaching and unboxing video for Everdell Bellfaire. This is a new expansion to Everdell and adds a 5 and 6 player option, as well as some new modules to add to your existing games. If you find these videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe to my channel. I know everybody asks for it, and it's one of the easiest ways you can help support channels like mine, so we can continue to grow and get new content to show off. Also, let me know in the comments below how you like this format for the expansion videos, or if there's other things that you would like included or would like to see in later expansion videos as I move forward. I'm still working on this, and I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below how I'm doing with this. Also, let me know if there's anything else you would like to see, if you'd like to see more gameplay videos or other types of tutorial videos. I have all kinds of ideas, but I also want to hear from my community. As you guys are the ones watching this stuff, let me know in those comments below what you would like to see. If you want to stay updated on my content, also consider ringing that bell so you get notifications anytime I release new content. And let's head to the table and I'll teach you guys how to play. So let me show you what's included in the box. And with this one, there is no collector's edition, so no matter which one you have, this is the one that you'll get. So a new catalog, the new rulebook, new overview, all the different contents, all the different modules that are included in this and how to set those up. This one increases you up to 5 to 6 players, so that's really nice. And now there's going to be player powers as well. And if you have all of the different expansions and core game, and they're the collector's editions, you'll also have each one of the critters will have meeples for it. So you can deal out your player power first and then give the players the appropriate meeples if you want to go through all that. And then there's new solo notes as well for this. And then with this one, there's a celebrating the 100 years of Everdell and the different events for that. There's a new board that will replace the Evertree, and with this one it looks like it connects to the main board still, but it has locations for spring, summer, autumn, and the different special events, and then the new modules that are included as well, which is the Flower Festival, the Garland Festival, and the Market. Now, if you don't want to use this board, each one of these is a separate piece as well. So you have the Garland events, you have the market and the tokens for that, and then the flower event. And on the back side here, it has it listed for that if you're not using the other board. And the axolotl also has its tokens if you have that creature as your player power. Then each player also has a player board now, and there'll be 6 different ones included, so depending upon what kind of art style you like, there's all kinds of different ones. And this is going to be where you store all your different resources and whatnot throughout the game, just kind of making things a little bit more organized and fun. Finally, there's 2 new critters included in this as well, the cardinals and toads, as well as the ambassadors for those. You get a couple of additional bags and the additional cards. So we have new special event cards, and these are more basic events, so if you want to include these as opposed to the other events, you can do so. There's new forest cards as well. Ooh, 3 resin or 2 berries. Sweet. And finally, the new powers for the different critters. So axolotls, cardinals, foxes, hedgehogs, lizards, mice, moles, otters, owls, platypuses, rats, squirrels, starlings, toads, and turtles. Oof, that's a mouthful. But those are the different powers, and each player will be dealt one of these randomly, and these will give that player certain powers that they can use throughout the game. And that's everything that's included in the box. The first new thing are the player boards, and you can choose to add these to your games if you want to. And these are used to store your different resources on. You can have your workers on there, and then it'll also chain off into your city itself. There's a new game board included as well, and you can use this on its own or replacing the Evertree. And I'm going to show you at the end of the video how to set up both with this board and without. So first off, with this board, if you're going to use it, it has spots for the different things that the Evertree was taken care of before, where you have the different seasons with your workers on there that you'll gain. You'll also have 3 new modules that you can choose to use. You can use any or all of these. It's totally up to you. The first one is the Flower Festival, and this is the 5th basic event. If you wish to use the board, then you'll just place it next to the board, and then there's a spot for a worker to be placed as normal. In order to collect this event, you have to have one of each of the different types of cards in your city, and then you'll place a worker there and claim this event, and it'll be worth 4 points at the end of the game. Otherwise, you can place it off to the side of your board, and it works the same way, showing you what you need to achieve that event. The next one is the Garland event, and you have a set of tiles that you'll shuffle up at the beginning of the game, and then randomly select one of these that you'll place out on that event. At the end of the game, this is another opportunity for players to score points. The player that has the most of the thing that's shown here will receive 6 points, and the second most will receive 3. And you have to have at least one of that type of building or critter in your city in order to be able to go for this. If there is a tie, then all tied players will receive the value of the tie. So if you tie for first, then each player that ties for first will receive 6 points. And the final thing is the market. And if you're using this board, then you're going to place the 4 tokens across the top of it to start the game with on the gain side. Otherwise, if you're using the market board, then you'll place them on the board itself here. So with this, the players have 2 options. Each player can only place 1 worker here at a time, and when they do, they're going to either choose to gain, in which case they're going to take one of these tiles, gaining the cards and the resources, and then they're going to place that tile on the trade side. Otherwise, if there are tiles on the trade side, then a player that goes here can choose to discard those items and cards in order to gain 2 of any item and 3 points. And this will continue going back and forth as the players gain or trade for those resources. Finally, if you're using this board, at the bottom of the board are where you're going to place your special events. So instead of placing them on the Ever tree, you'll place them down below. Another module that players can use are the player power cards, and each one of these will give the player a unique ability that they'll be able to use for the rest of the game. In order to use this deck, shuffle it up during setup and deal each player face down 2 cards, and each player will choose one of the cards to keep and discard the other one back to the box. Now you can choose, if you have all the expansions, to actually give the player the meeples that match the critters that they're playing to be thematic, but you do not have to, or if you don't have them, that is okay too. It is not required. Now, one thing to keep in mind when using player powers, you are not going to gain a worker during your prepare for spring step. And the final thing I want to show you is the setup for the 2 different versions. So if you have a board that's long enough, you can choose to use this board in conjunction with the Evertree, or you can replace the Evertree however you want to do it. Then for each module you want to use, you'll set that out as well. So with the flower module, if you want to use that, you'll place it on the board, or if you don't want to use the board, then you can simply just place this off to the side somewhere so that the players can get to it during the game. Then same thing with the market. If you want to use the board, you'll use that. Otherwise, you'll use this market board, and you can just place this off to the side as well. And with that, then again, to set it up, if you're using just this board here, then you'll just place out the tokens across the top here. And if you're using that board, then again, of course, just put them across that board there. If you choose to use the Garland module, again, shuffle those tiles up and randomly select one to be the tile. If you're using the board, you'll place it on there. Otherwise, you can place it off to the side somewhere on the other board. Finally, with the Evertree, again, you can choose to use this, or you can choose to use the main board, placing these special events here, and then placing the little workers out on the top. Again, if you choose to use the player powers, then you will not be able to gain a worker during the spring season, so you won't put those out. And again, for the player powers, you'll shuffle up the deck and deal 2 cards to each player. Each player will choose one to be, and will gain that. The other will be returned to the box and will not be used. Then to set up the forest events, you can choose to include the new events with that, or simply use these events and then deal those out based on the number of players. And the same thing with the special events. With these, you can choose to shuffle them with the events that come in the main box. You can use these by themselves, as these are a little bit more basic events or easier to attain than the other one, or you can choose to use a mixture of the 2. With that, again, you can place those out or up on the main board. Now there's a couple of additional rules if you choose to play your games with 5 and 6 players. First off, whether you're using player powers or not, you are not going to gain a worker during Prepare for Spring. And players will add a 5th event for 5 players and a 6th special event for 6 players. So let's go ahead and say that I'm playing a 6-player game. I'll add 2 additional special events. And I'll also add that 4th event for the forest. And the other big thing is that the hand size has been reduced from 8 to 7 with this, so a player can have a maximum of 7 cards in their hand at any time. Then, to start the game, you're going to deal out a number of cards to each player just like before, but this is going to change as well. As you can see on this chart, the first player is going to receive 5 cards, the second player will receive 5, the third and fourth are going to receive 6 cards, and the 5th and 6th players are going to receive 7 cards each. And then finally, at the end of the game, when you have passed and you're done doing everything, you'll go ahead and discard your cards. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you found this video helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button and subscribe to my channel, as it really does make a big difference. It means so much to me. It helps me continue to grow and be able to get new games to show off to you guys. So please just take those couple seconds, hit that subscribe button, and definitely stay up to date on everything that I'm doing. And let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see as well. If there's certain games that you'd like to have me cover or interested in seeing on this channel, please let me know in those comments below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.